What is up, guys? CrackleHarvest36 here. Welcome back to another video, and in this video, guys, I'm going to be starting a brand new tutorial series here on my channel, which is how to create a Minecraft server network with Spigot. And throughout the series, we're going to be custom coding our minigame network, and we're going to be using custom plugins. With a few exceptions, we may use some APIs included with plugins like Citizens for NPCs, holographic displays with like a hologram API, stuff like that, but for the most part, it's going to be all custom. So before we start, I just want to let you guys know that I expect you guys to have some Java knowledge. This is not a Java tutorial. I won't be going over how to use certain things in Java, only things that we really need. Now, if you follow the tutorial, yeah, you may not really need Java knowledge, but it just helps so you can follow along easily. First up, if you don't have it already, we're going to need the Java Development Kit, and specifically the JDK 8. Of course, JDK standing for Java Development Kit. You can get this in the link in the description below. For the JDK 8, if you get it on Java's official website, on Oracle's website, you're going to have to create a Oracle account because this is not necessarily a new version anymore. But anyways, pick the version that is right for your computer, and like if you have a 32-bit Windows machine, just get the Windows x86. If you have a 64-bit machine, Windows x64. And if you have anything else, I'm sure it's listed up here. I've already downloaded Java and installed it, so I'm not going to be going over that. Once you install Java, you're going to need to get the actual Spigot API, which is basically what your server runs off of. So there are multiple ways you can go about doing this. You can actually build it yourself with Spigot's build tools. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Or you can just get a pre-built Spigot version, which I'm going to get from getbucket.org, which I'll also leave in the description down below. Now, we're not going to get the latest version of Spigot because I'm not really used to working with 1.16 or really anything other than 1.8. And I know it's a bit of an older version, but a lot of servers still use 1.8. So we're going to go to Downloads, Spigot, and we're going to go down to 1.8.8, and we're going to download. And then what you're going to do here, you're just going to click this here. You don't have to install anything, you're just going to need that downloaded. I've already downloaded this as well, so let's move on to the next thing. Next up, we have our IDE, our Integrated Development Environment. Throughout this tutorial series, I'm going to be using IntelliJ. Now, you could use other IDEs such as like Eclipse or something like that, but if you want to just follow along, just use IntelliJ. I'll teach you how to set up a project with IntelliJ. You can go over to Download, and then get the Community Edition, unless you want to buy the Ultimate Edition, which comes with a free 30-day trial. Just like the other things, I've already downloaded and installed IntelliJ. If you need help setting it up for the first time, there are tutorials online, just for pretty much any version of IntelliJ, so you can look those up. Once IntelliJ is all set up, or you're just opening it after you set it up already, you'll see a window that looks something like this. Since we don't have a project already, we're going to create a new project. We're going to go over to Maven, because we're going to be using Maven for dependencies and everything. We're basically building this off of Maven. Make sure the project SDK is actually set to 1.8. This is a thing that we downloaded earlier when we downloaded Java. Going to next. Now we're going to put in our project name. We're just going to call this Cool Games with a Z. And then you're going to select the location that you want to put your project. I'm just going to put it in Cool Games in my tutorial folder. And we're going to go to Artifact Coordinates. Now we have the group ID, the artifact ID, and the version. With the group ID, if you're familiar with how to name packages in Java, this is basically what you're going to do. Now, if you have a domain, the group ID is literally your domain, but reversed. As you can see, if your domain was example.org, it would be org.example. What some people do if they don't have a domain, which I do, but I'm not going to be using my domain for the sake of this tutorial, I'll just do me.crackleharvest36. It'll be me. And then your name. And then artifact ID, we're just going to keep Cool Games. That's basically the name of your project. Version, you can really do anything. We'll just put 1.0 and finish. Once that is all opened up, you're going to be greeted with a pom.xml file. This is basically the Maven file of the parent project. We're going to make a couple of changes here, such as we're going to add a tag here. We're going to say packaging pom, this pom file. And then we're going to add our spigot. So the way we're going to do this is we're actually going to go into Microsoft Edge, or your favorite web browser. Now, on the wiki on the spigotmc.org website, which is the official Spigot website, they have a nice page here on to add Spigot to your pom.xml. So we're going to add this repository group here. And we'll just put that in our pom.xml. As you can see, this adds the Spigot Maven repository to the build. And then we're also going to add the dependency, which is going to read from the repository and just grab the dependency. We're going to change this to 1.8.8 ro.1 snapshot. And we're just going to refresh Maven. It should read the dependencies. If it fails to, make sure that Maven is set up correctly on your computer, which it should, because I think IntelliJ automatically does that. But if not, just search up how to set up Maven on your computer. Now if we open our parent project, we're going to remove the src folder, because we're not going to have any code per se inside of our parent project. Our parent project is going to hold submodules such as the core plugin, the hub plugin, which will be used for the lobby, the games plugin, like we can call it arcade or something, and other stuff like that. So this is just basically a folder holding all of our modules. So what we can do is we can right click on our parent project here. We can go to new module. Make sure Maven is selected, go to next, and then we're going to make sure that the parent is Cool Games. If it's none, just Cool Games or whatever you called your parent project. Then if we go to artifact coordinates, it should generate all of this with your already given group ID, and then the artifact ID will be the module name. Just keep that like it is and finish. So as you can see, now we are greeted with the pom.xml file of the core, and as you can see, it says the parent is the Cool Games parent project that we made earlier. Now if we go into our parent project's pom.xml, as you can see, it automatically made a modules group here, and it will group each module that we create, with the first one, of course, being core. Now, to make sure that the core is actually parented by our parent project, and to make sure that we'll get the same dependencies and everything, we can go into core, src, we'll delete the test folder, we don't need that right now, main, and then in Java, we're going to create a new package, call it me.crackleharvest36, or whatever your username is, coolgames.core, and that's quite a mouthful of a package name there. And we can go to new Java class, and we'll just call this core. Now make sure that we actually have the Spigot API and everything. We can do extends Java plugin, and as you can see, it's getting something from the Spigot API under the org.bucket.plugin package. And to make sure that the plugin actually enables, we're going to do @override public void on enable. Not on enabler, on enable. And we'll just say get logger.info, and we'll just say core enabled, if I can spell today. Yippee. Now that we did that, we're going to create a plugin.yml inside of our resources folder, plugin.yml. We're going to do name. We'll just call this cool core, because it's a cool core. Version 1.0, and then main. We'll do me.crackleharvest36.coolgames.core.core. This is case sensitive, so make sure that you type this correctly. Lastly, we're going to make a new module, one more module in here, under Maven, and we're just going to call this hub for the hub project, which will be used in the lobby servers. And we're going to click finish. As you can see, it did the same exact thing that the core did, and just to make sure, yep, it added it as a module. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing we did in core, just add a main class, me.crackleharvest36.coolgames.hub, and we'll just go new Java class, we'll call it hub, not huib, hub. Make sure we have the correct dependencies, yep, extend Java plugin, and we'll just copy this so I can be lazy and not have to type it out. And we'll say hub enabled, yippee. And of course, we're going to add our plugin.yml in our resources folder. And we'll say name, call it cool hub, version 1.0, main, me.crackleharvest36.coolgames.hub.hub. Now, inside of our plugin.ymls, there's going to be more things that we're going to add, such as like commands and stuff like that, but we'll get to that in another episode. Now, to make sure that these modules actually build, what we're going to do is we're going to go over to this Maven tab here, and if you don't have this, go to View, Tool Windows, and click Maven. Under Cool Games, what we're going to do is we're going to go to Lifecycle and Package. And it looks like it built with some warnings. This is just a encoding, platform encoding stuff, UTF-8. So this isn't really anything wrong with the code. It's just something that we haven't set with the build properties. So don't really worry about this because right now we don't have to worry about this. We can fix this in a later video, but for now we can just not worry about this. Now in my folder, if we go to Project, Cool Games, and then if we go to Core, and we go to Target, you can see that our core has actually added into the Target folder, along with the hub, Target, and then hub here as well. Now to actually test this, I'm going to copy these into a plugins folder on a test server that I'm running. And we're going to go Cool Games, Core, Target, Core here. And then we can just paste that into there. Now I'm running the test server with the spigot that we actually downloaded on getbucket.org. So make sure you have that if you want to run your server, unless you're using a server host, like something like Pebblehost, Ramshard, any server host for that matter. Make sure you accept the EULA, and we are going to run.bat. Now it's starting to create files. Hopefully it runs our plugins, which it should. And as you can see, enabling Cool Hub, Hub enabled, yippee, enabling Cool Core, Core enabled, yippee. As you can see, Hub is actually enabling before the Core, which is not something that we want in the future, because we're going to need a bunch of Core commands and stuff, and Core modules to actually have the Hub working. So there's actually an easy fix for this. We go to Hub, and then we go to Source, Resources, plugin.yml, and then we're going to say depend, and we'll just, I'm going to do it this way, and in here we'll just say cool core, like so. Oh, and you know what, that actually reminds me, one more thing what we're going to do in here, we're going to go to the pom.xml of our hub module, and we're going to add a dependency, so we're going to do dependencies, dependency, and then we're going to add the group ID, me.crackleharvest36, it tries autofilling in Cool Games, but we're just going to say core, and then we're going to refresh Maven. And now Core is an official dependency of Hub. So we're actually able to use Core things inside of our Hub module. So once again, we're going to build Cool Games so we can make sure that the Hub is going to enable after the Core. And then we'll go into our folder here. We'll actually go to this one. We didn't make any changes here, but we did make changes to the Hub. So we're going to go to Target here. We're going to copy this. Go in here and replace. Now restarting our server and our run.bat, it's going to load the libraries, and it's going to load the plugins as well. And as you can see right here, Cool Hub actually starts after Cool Core because we said that Cool Core is a dependency for Cool Hub. Alright, so now we have set up everything that we're going to need to have whenever we start coding different things, such as maybe ranks, permissions, stuff like that. In the future. So make sure to stay tuned, like and subscribe to see more videos of this tutorial. And I'll definitely keep doing these. Just let me know down in the comment section below what you want to see me do in the future. Maybe a specific minigame you'd like to see, or like different cosmetics. Just let me know down in the comment section below. I'll definitely read your comments. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.